Okay, Nick again. Hello, everybody. Of course, little boring bit of self-promotion first and foremost. There's this thing on Lulu. You can buy it if you want. If you don't, you don't have to. But, you know, it might be good for you. The Grimoire and the Herbal by Nick Dutch. It's just like stuff for you. Whatever. Okay, alright. Here's some stories which never made the news and have complexity associated with them, but very, very positive. Today's theme, collaboration again between Christians and pagans. And the complexity that's there as well. There's an Episcopal priest in Baltimore called Father Marcus, and he keeps getting death threats from his own congregation. Because every Tuesday night, he clears out the undercroft for something called a sanctuary circle. A Wiccan high priestess named Celine leads it. They make hygiene kits for the houseless, but each kit contains both blessed salts from the church and moon water from the covenant's rituals. The priest says, God doesn't care whose hands do the blessing, only that someone shows up to do it. And they've distributed 15,000 kits so far. The bishop wants to fire the guy, but the coven carries on getting bigger and stronger. So that's a nice thing there. Now we got this other one, which is outside of Phoenix, Arizona. A Mormon stake president and a heathen gothy got tired of watching migrant families die crossing the desert. So they created Water for All Souls. The Mormons handle the logistics, the trucks and the GPS coordinates and the volunteer schedules. The heathens perform land spirit rituals, asking the desert itself to guide the thirsty to the caches of the water. Maybe they made some like marks in the sand or something, I don't know. Each water station has both a Book of Mormon and a runestone, and they've saved 347 lives so far. Border Patrol keeps on removing their stations that they put up, but they keep on rebuilding them. And the state president's told his congregation, I don't care if you think they're heathens, they're showing up when Jesus asked us to give water to the stranger. Good boy. That's the kind of message we need to have a look at. Doing things for people who need help, including those who are a bit strange, different and unusual because they're different, different spiritualities or different races. We're talking about people here, people who need help. Okay. Right, now we got another one here. Rural Georgia. There's a Pentecostal preacher's daughter who came out as transsexual. Her father regretfully chose the church over his child. Then the local Druids took the child in and taught her wildcraft, plant medicine, gave her a new name, Rowan. 2 years later, the same preacher and his wife is dying of cancer. The congregation abandoned him. His Christian congregation abandoned him. But Rowan turned up with the Grove sisters, and they treated his wife, making her comfortable and singing the, old healing songs in Gaelic and English. The preacher weeps, not from conversion, but from recognition. He tells Rowan, I thought I lost my child, and instead I gained a teacher. That particular story is powerful because it speaks about having strong ideas about what it is you are and what's right and the rest of it and things which don't quite sit well with you, and then learning to try and see beyond that and through that in a more comfortable way, so that this is a powerful story of psychological and emotional healing and a family getting better, and a preacher who's been standing up at the pulpit telling other people what's right and what's wrong, suddenly learning that he was wrong. That's a good message. That's lovely. Complicated, difficult, and the fact that the daughter had to be adopted by somebody else, it's complicated. Alright, but what happened is when the wife died, Rowan led the service, half in Psalms and half in the Awen. The whole town came, Christians and pagans, and those who were undecided. No protests, no picket signs. Just people carrying casseroles and herb bundles, sharing stories about a woman who grew the best tomatoes and never let anyone leave her porch thirsty. These are the things happening in real life. We're not told about this stuff, This is real people doing things from a human point of view to try and solve things and grow and develop. And that's nice. And I think that's speaking to me as well in some strange way, because I've had my own strong ideas and attitudes, and I've got to deal with them as well. Right. It says here is that the best collaboration isn't just the fact it's between, it's interfaith, or what comes out in press releases. It's when people do things. You know? It's when people do things. And we end up crossing and bridging very deep divides. Rate, comment, subscribe, favorite and share, thumbs up and all that kind of stuff. And I'll speak to you again soon. Bye for now.